we're going to demonstrate how you can make your own alignment tool. I think if you've already got an alignment tool, you've already recognized how valuable that tool is. It cuts the fastening process in half. It's really only four pieces of wood that actually make the alignment tool. You have the headpiece. We recommend you use the same material you're using for your form ply. If you're using 1/2 inch, then take a piece of 1/2 inch, 5/8, 3/4, and so on. The dimension of your headpiece should be 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall. We're just using some 1x4 hemlock, but you can use clear vertical grain fir. Pine can work too, but it won't last as long because pine has a tendency to twist. This piece right here is the part that's on the outside of the alignment tool. It's a piece of 1x4 hemlock. It's 57 inches long. And here are some of the details you need to know about this part of the tool. This notch down here is the part that goes around the starter piece that's on the concrete, allowing the tool to go all the way down so that it makes full contact to your footing. We cut this 1 5/8 wide by 1 1/4 tall. That fits nicely around the starter tie, gives you a little bit of playroom. Your first hole, measuring from the bottom of the outside board, 2 7/8 center of hole, and we drilled a 1-inch hole. From that point on, it's 6 inches on center the rest of the way up, taking you up to the top right here. So you're going to end up with one notch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes, and that's all you need to do for this part for the moment. On the inside, we have the same thing, 1x4, and again, this is hemlock, and we've rabbeted the end of the board, 1/2 inch deep and 1/4 inch in. The length of these boards are 48 inches long. At the top here, we've taken the rabbet off 14 inches down from the end. And the reason for that, when you're sliding the tool over the top of the forms, sometimes your spider ties are sticking above the top of the plywood, especially in the situations where you're going to form up an 8-foot high wall. That little piece of spider tie sticking out tends to want to hit or get in the way of the headpiece, so we've taken the rabbet off. So again, 48 inches long, rabbeted, 1/2 inch deep, 1/4 inch in, and we've taken 14 inches of that rabbet off. So that basically makes up your 4 parts of your alignment tool. Now we're going to simply demonstrate how you can put it together. Now you'll take your outside hole board. We're going to fasten that to the headpiece first. Take the outside hole board, hold it flush to the top edge of your headpiece, and make sure that it's centered and square. Once you've got that placed exactly the way you want it, go ahead and set 6 screws. The screws we're using here are 1 1/4 inch drywall screws. This number 6 1 1/4 inch drywall screws. Now I pre-drilled my holes ahead of time to make sure that everything was going to end up square and straight the way I wanted it. Now that's done, we'll go ahead and flip it over and attach the interior alignment boards. Now we're going to show you some of the critical measurements you need to keep in mind when you're fastening the outside alignment boards. The gap in between that you're going to want to have here is just slightly over 1 1/4 inch. The spider ties themselves are 1 1/4 inch wide, and so this would probably want to be just maybe a 1/16 wider than that. The other couple of things you want to keep in mind is that this gap right here in the area where the rabbet still exists needs to be about 3/4 inch wide. When you're fastening the alignment boards, you want to be able to look down and make sure that the holes on the exterior hole board are centered in this space, because the purpose of the holes are to make sure that the screws end up center of the spider tie stack. So place these in place like this, pre-drill your holes, make sure that the alignment boards are flush to the top of the headpiece just like the hole board is on the other side, and then go ahead and fasten it with your 1 1/4 inch screws. Now you probably noticed that if you have one of the tools that we sent out to you, that it came with a couple of pieces of masonite. The purpose of these are strictly to be used as shims. If you're using 3/4 inch plywood, for example, the tool is going to be sent to you so it's ready to work with plywood that's 1/2 inch thick. So you would take this hole board off and place the shims in between. But whatever you do, you want to make sure that everything is kept square and that the tolerances are all the same. Again, here you want 1 5/16 inches, 3/4 inch, flush to the top. These working off the center of the hole board and everything square. If you do that, you'll find the tool works beautifully for you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish putting this tool together by filling the rest of these holes up with 1 1/4 screws. Now you have a finished alignment tool. One of the beautiful things about this tool, total material cost $14 to $16. You can make as many of these as you want. One breaks, throw it away, and start over. We recommend, though, that if you have ordered one, save it for your template. You maybe take it apart and store it away, and then use it to make sure that all the other pieces that you make from then on out will be the exact same dimensions. And as you saw in the previous videos, this tool now is simply ready to slide to the top of the plywood and get started.